Message is so nice today that we've decided that we're going to do it twice. And so here we are for a second round of Tarot Thursday. If you've never been to the Tarot Thursday show before, well, it's a really easy setup. If you give me consent to read your energy, then I get to draw you a card. And any person that wants one single card today for absolutely free, it's yours. I got no issues helping people out because at the end of the day, tarot is kind of a rare and sometimes really expensive thing to get access to. We want to make sure that you can get access to it whenever possible. So, every Thursday, you can come join us here, and we'll happily draw you whatever cards we can. Now, I'm going to start off with a random energy card while we get things on a roll here. And so let's see what we've got coming up first. Osiris. I like Osiris energy. It's a neat one. Relates to being a part of the function of the natural world. See, Osiris is very important in Egyptian mythology, as he assists very much with the moving of souls away from the life to the afterlife. And could you imagine if we didn't have somebody to help souls cross over and get along their way? It'd be absolute chaos everywhere that we go. And so when Osiris shows up within a reading, what we're seeing here is an individual that's finding new direction, new path, a new course for themselves that's going to help them move closer to the place that they belong, the place where they can do their best work, provide their best service, and be the biggest contribution that they could possibly be to the world. It takes healing, though. And especially for the men of the audience, it takes a lot of deep personal healing for us to realize how much we can provide to the world. Not by what we can force the world to do, but by how we can encourage the world to see better that they are supported, loved, cherished, valued for the very nature of what they are, and not just dragged along upon our schemes, upon our plans. It's about finding the right routine for you to embrace your energies and your flow for your truth. Every person has their own truth, their own purpose, their own meaning, and only by helping each other can we find our truest purpose and move forward together into an amazing world. It is a powerful energy, and a great one to start the day on. If you want to get a card for yourself, all I need is consent to draw for you. I'd be happy to get you a free card this Thursday. Every Thursday, everyone's entitled to one free card. So if you give me consent, I'll read for you. Thanks so much for coming on out and enjoying the show today. If we don't get a request right away, I'll start drawing up another random card, another random energy for us to look into. Let's see what comes in the box. 3, 2, 1. I don't see any card requests, so let's draw another random card energy. The next random card that we're going to get today, it's going to be Brahma. I like Brahma. It comes from Hindu philosophy, the Hindu faith, where you have 3 major gods that help to create the entire world. That's Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma specifically is the creator, the beginning of the expression, the start of the process, the origin from which all other things start to begin. And the idea here is that we each have our own individual expression that we have available to share with the world, something that could help to shape, change, and create new things, simply by us being, ultimately, ourselves. And so the encouragement when this energy comes out is to find that true nature of yourself and express it fully, passionately in everything that you do. There's a lot of people that believe that male leadership has to come from telling people what to do. And Brahma laughs at this concept. It's not about telling people what to do. No one listens when you tell them what to do. It's about modeling what's the best way to be. When you demonstrate incredible power, incredible capacity, people will naturally gravitate towards that because they'll see that potential that comes through you and they'll follow in behind it. So for true leadership, for true creation, what we need is not people demanding a certain way, but rather modeling the path that encourages the best development of humans, the best development of habits, the best development of personal potential. When we create these things for others to enjoy and share in, they then take what we've given them, expand it to new and powerful risings, and that continues on in this beautiful process that we call life. It's kind of like the oral histories of a lot of the indigenous cultures around the world. They spoke the truth of their stories from one generation to the next. In the same way, we can exhibit this behavior by demonstrating the best virtues, values, morals, and principles. And when those actions create success, people will attract naturally to that path of success. It's no different than any business. You see a business model that's working well, you replicate it. You take it and you make your own behaviors as consistent and as critically well thought out as possible. That way your success is inevitable because you're following a process that obviously works. A guy told me once, do you know who has the best burger in the world? I hummed and hawed because we worked at a restaurant. I'd love to say it was our burger, but it's not. By dollar value, the best burger in the world is McDonald's. And that's only the case because it is the best system. It's consistent, it's fast, and it always goes through the same process. Brahma demands that same function. If we're going to create something, it has to be created properly. Otherwise, the creator can never walk away from it. Vishnu, the maintainer, can never come in to do his role, and it never grows beyond the hands that started it. If you start something, start it with the intention of letting someone else finish it. No person in their entire life will complete everything. There's a reason why we have children and legacy and generational wealth that builds up around it. Because at the end of the day, while you may be the starting point of that new world for the family, you will not be the finishing point. So long as there is more children coming behind us, it will always be the children that take what we do and move it forward to the next possibility. So it is an open docket right now, so if anyone would like to put in a request for a card, you're more than welcome to do so. All cards today could be free. If you just want one card and a quick message, we're very happy to do that for you, because I think everyone should have access to readings as much as possible. If you want a little bit more detail though, you can send in a gift or something like that and be happy to give you a little bit more of a fleshed out thought. If nobody puts in a card request in the next 10 seconds though, then I'm just going to go ahead and draw another random energy. Again, I cannot read unless I have your consent. To be honest, no tarot reader, no energy reader can read you without your consent. To do so is technically an invasion on you. And you got to remember, just because you walk into the room doesn't mean they have a right to know everything about you. So that's my rule. If you give me consent, I'll draw a card for you. I haven't seen a request come in yet though, so let's draw another random card and see what energies we get coming up from that. Next random energy that we're working with today, it's going to be the moon. I like the moon. To be honest, if you've never watched a single Mighty Boosh skit, you absolutely should, especially the moon skits. They are absolutely ridiculous, and I like ridiculous things. They make me laugh, they make me smile. But it hints at a small truth with the moon. For a lot of us, throughout our history, we didn't know what the moon was. There's this big bright light in the night sky every day, and we get to trust that it's going to be there to some level. But it's not going to be the same light every day, it's going to be different. Some days it's going to be big, bright, and absolutely powerful. Other days it's going to be just a sliver of light looking out over us from the night sky. Even though it is constantly changing though, we know through its pattern, we know through its flow, how those changes are going to be. It's a process, waxing, waning, fulling, emptying. And when we ourselves can recognize that pattern in the world around us, we can also recognize the pattern within us. Sometimes we just don't have the same energy, oomph, and capacity that we wish we did. We're in a weaker state with less light to shine out into the world. And that's okay. Occasionally, it's fine to withdraw into your subconscious, to recover your strength, recover your energy, and get back to the fullest version of yourself. Other times, you need to shine brightly. You need to guide others through that night light and help them to find their way through the darkness. And only by recognizing what stage you yourself are in can you know what you really have to offer to the world around you. No one can be expected to be full all the time. Everybody has to understand that we each may go through highs and lows, full capacity and less capacity. And allowing ourselves to go through those motions is healthy living. It's not demanding that we always be a certain way. It's demanding that we always respect that we will feel based upon the moment. And when we recognize this, connect with our subconscious on it, and just sort of put that understanding into the big picture, we realize we're not expected to be 150% every day. We're expected to work and rest, push and relax, give and take. There must always be a dual balance in everything that we are contributing to. If there isn't, and it's just being absorbed from us, that may not be a healthy or good thing. If you do read tarot cards yourself, remember the moon is always about the subconsciousness. It's always about what is hiding beneath. So some people like to touch on the fact that it's illusions, secrets, mysteries, and I absolutely will agree with that as well. But the ultimate mystery is the mystery of yourself, how you fill and empty your own emotions, how you connect with others, and how you remain grounded in yourself. If you can remember that piece, that element of it, and how it relates to you specifically, then you'll never look outside for any kind of light or answer. You'll always have that energy and you'll always have that light right with you at all times, helping you to keep safe, strong, and positive in everything that you're facing. So it is an open doc right now. If anybody is interested in a card, you're more than welcome to put in a request, and we'll be happy to help you out today. And if you're looking for something a little bit deeper, a little bit more focused, we can definitely do that too. Questions are important. If somebody wants to write out a question for me, I'm totally okay answering that as well. And it doesn't have to be a yes or no thing. You can ask any question that you want. We're here to give insight. We're here to give thoughts. We're here to share what we can for perspective and wisdom. So all you got to do is give me consent to draw you a card, and we'll get that card drawn for you right away. If I don't see a request in the next few seconds, I'm going to draw up just another general energy card, and we'll just keep going along that route. Again, I will not read anybody without consent, so if you're interested in a tarot card, we will need you to say, "Hey, read me please," or "I consent for a card reading." Whatever it is that you feel is the right way to phrase that you give consent for someone to read your energy. Next random card coming up, we're going with the Hierophant. I had somebody ask about the Hierophant earlier, in comparisons of the Hierophant to cards like the Devil card. And the similarity that they're picking up on is with the Hierophant, there is a control over how you're supposed to express, how you're supposed to behave, how you're supposed to be. Specifically, that control comes from something called dogma. Every religion, every faith, every country even has a dogma, a particular set of beliefs and practices that it feels demonstrates its core identity. There's nothing wrong with having these institutions and things for us to identify and draw our personal strength from. Rather, these can sometimes help to enhance community. When we all enter into a church together, and we're all Christian, we all tend to know that we're here to venerate the Christ consciousness as a savior. Same thing if you're going to, say, a Muslim church. We know that Allah is what's bringing the wisdom to us. Or maybe you're Buddhist. It's now about what the Buddha has taught you, and we can share in the stories together. It gives us common language. It gives us common understanding. It gives us common ground. And within that environment that it creates, we get to engage with each other and grow in the wisdom of that path. So if you believe in a particular path, a particular church, a particular faith, then you have some access to Hierophant energy. You have found a dogma that you're allowing your energy to relate to, connect with, and work alongside with. And this engages you to that culture fully. And I mentioned a lot of churches, I mentioned a lot of institutions, but if we want to get technical about it, even the otherkin culture from back in the 1990s, that would be the same as a Hierophant culture, giving us some amount of identity. Pagans, especially those that follow a coven with a high priestess, also are tapping into the Hierophant style of energy. If you work for Walmart and every day you're doing the Walmart cheer at the beginning of your shift, that is Hierophant energy. You're engaging the dogma and belief system to reinforce your connection with that culture, your connection with that place. The devil on the other side, it doesn't necessarily allow you a personal expression, it forces an expression from you. The difference between the Hierophant and the devil is that you've approached the Hierophant and you've surrendered yourself to it. In the case of the devil, usually you have not chosen to submit to it, but rather something has caused the devil to take your authority away from you. And recognizing sort of that's where things are flopping back and forth with the devil. It's a power struggle of your free will. If you are approaching Hierophant energy, you've chosen to submit to that dogma. You have chosen that faith. You have chosen that belief. You have chosen that creed. And that creed is now yours to live and portray and be the example of. The devil doesn't give you a choice, but the Hierophant accepts your choice of them. Hopefully that clears out some of the ideas between Hierophant and devil for some people, because I know they can be really, really similar in a lot of their feelings. If you've ever had a very strong pastor that likes to tell you exactly how to live, then you know what I'm talking about. Some churches definitely feel like they're run more by devils than they are run by Hierophants. And it all comes back to, what is the point of control? If the point is to control your willpower, it's a devil. If the point is to help you embrace your choice, it's a Hierophant. It is an open docket, so if anyone wants to throw in a card request, you're more than welcome to do so. I will not read you without your consent, and so I do need permission before I can draw you a card. That said, if I don't get another card request anytime soon, then I'll just draw another random energy, and we'll just keep going along on that path until we do get some questions or card requests. Now, I do this every Thursday, by the way, so if this is your first time seeing the show, then know that this is something you can come hang out with us for every Thursday. You don't have to go. I figured you might be, TJ. I thought it was you that asked the questions, so I wanted to make sure that I went back into it and explained some of the details. You don't have to go and pay $500, $600, $700 to a psychic in order to get a reading. It doesn't have to be like that. Thursday's show will always make sure that people can get quick advice, quick and easy for absolutely free, because spiritual services should be available to everybody. But I do private bookings, but even better than that, I do private training. I love to teach people how to read tarot cards and find the pattern recognition in their own life. So if it's something that you want to explore, feel free to shoot me a message. I'd be happy to get you started on your road. The next random energy card that we're going to work with today is the Ace of Cups. Now, as sort of a preface, the tarot deck is broken down into 5 sections. The first section is the major arcana cards, and these are numbered 0 through 21 for 22 cards total, and they represent the story of a person traveling through the world and transforming as they go. It starts as a fool on a brand new adventure and finishes when they've walked through the entire world that they're in, preparing them to step as a fool into a new world and a new possibility. The elements that come behind that, the 4 suits, are fire, earth, air, water. Fire is wands, air is swords, earth is pentacles, and water is cups. When you're dealing with an ace, you're dealing with supreme form, overabundance, complete capacity of. And so the Ace of Cups can be a fantastic energy. Right side up, this cup is ready to be filled, ready to be engaged. We're talking deep relationships, deep passion, deep emotional satisfaction and a sense of fulfillment from what it is that you're engaging with and connecting with and working with. It's a beautiful reminder that you have this abundance of energy and hope and love and just the positive vibes that we really want to enjoy in day-to-day life here. So quite often this can pop up when a person is bouncing into a relationship that is going to be so good for them. Or they've blossomed, they're a teenager, they're hitting through puberty, and now they've got this idea of connectivity that's starting to grow within them. That connectivity is the water that runs through and between each and every one of us. Emotions move between us rapidly. Have a person get in your lane while you're driving in front of you and slam on their brakes, and I guarantee you, you are both going to be sharing some emotions in that moment. The emotions might be fear and panic on one side and rage and confusion on the other, but you are combined together in the experience of sharing that emotional moment together. That is the core principle of all the cup cards. It's about how your connection with another is leaving you, whether that be in an abundant way or a deficient way. Now, when I read single cards, I will never read a reversal. A single card, how can that be reversed when I have nothing else to compare it to? And so I'll always look at single card draws as right side up. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Because when this card comes up like this, it's a disaster. It's a problem. It's a cup that's been spilled over and has no contents left to it. It's emotions that are completely overwhelmed to the point of going numb. It's a relationship that you've had for years, but the feeling just isn't there anymore. And it's not even a mute feeling. Some relationships after time, they become very comfortable and muted because of that. This isn't just that. This is a detachment from the connection and a detachment from the form. So if you do read reversal energies, you have to consider that very carefully with this card, that reversed, somebody is in a lot of suffering here. Somebody's in a lot of pain. Somebody's in a moment of agony. And you want to do what you can to help them recognize that their heart, their emotions, their cup has been sundered, broken, or in some other way thrown out of order. If it's a hole in the bottom of a bucket, you patch the hole before you fill it with water. If it's a cup upside down, you got to flip it back over before you can fill it again. And getting out of crisis and back into comfort with yourself is the key. Most people can't do that on their own. Two reasons for that. One, typically it's another person that caused you emotional distress. And so, much like poisons, the cure comes from the infliction. So an upside down cup, because somebody else was cruel, quite often needs somebody else to be compassionate for the person to move it out of their energy and move it out of their flow. If it's more a self-sabotage thing, then it is a matter of them having to realize where they're hurting themselves and holding themselves back. But 9 times out of 10, the cure to an injured heart comes through working with somebody else so that you can get to that healthier, happier state together. Most people's hearts can't be healed on their own. And that's just some of the sadness that exists in our world. We're here to be a community, though. So engage community and engage the multitude and see how that can help you feel the emotions move into abundance in a way that some people can't even begin to dream or fathom. So we're just drawing random cards right now because I haven't gotten any requests just yet. But if this is first time getting a card reading, well, I guarantee you it's a gentle place for a first time. All you got to do is give me your consent to draw you a card, and I will be more than happy to do so. I always feel kind of weird when I see people reading other people's energies without asking for permission first. And so that's the rule here. If you want a card for yourself, all I need is for you to give me consent, give me permission, and I'll get that card drawn up for you. If I don't see a request come up in the next few seconds, I'll draw another random energy. If anybody wants to request a card, go for it. Yes, I do mean anybody. It's more fun to read for people than it is to read around people. So, throw me a request here. Give your Witcher a coin. Or specifically, give your bard something to talk about. Next random energy card. I won't force you, Lunar. I won't force you. But if you want to be the victim... When you do ... like that, you know I'm not going to dive on it. Come on. Random energy card. Random energy card. I adore you too much to make you go through a hesitant moment or a hesitant choice. I'm not going to do that to you, but if you change your mind, let me know. Okay, fine. I'll draw you after this one. 9 of Cups. Satisfaction. Fulfillment. Fortune. What is it like to be fortunate in emotions? Well, it feels like you have access to what you need, access to what you want, access to those things that are giving you that satisfaction. A person that enjoys nature, living in a city, is not likely to feel fortunate. Rather, they're going to feel like they're trapped in the concrete prison, and they'll need to find a way to withdraw out of that and back into the place that does provide them abundance. The trick here is knowing, where does your abundance come from? Is it rooms full of people, maybe dancing and grinding to the latest electronica music? Or maybe it is in quiet service, humbly praying with a bunch of others at a church service, at a vigil. Or maybe you're like me and the satisfaction comes from being able to sit in nature and interact with the wild animals in a way that a lot of others just can't because they scare the wild creatures. Wherever... Okay, I believe you. If it is in fact that you can find this place of abundance for yourself and flow for yourself, then you're always going to get your personal emotional satisfaction, your recharge, the place that fills your heart and allows you to take that abundance back out into the world and back out into the flow and share it with everybody else. If we each as human beings walked with the fullest hearts possible, we'd be able to approach every other person and add a little bit to them. Because we can add positivity, we can add cheerfulness, we can add hope. Hope is one of the most critical emotions. People forget that, and they believe it's something floofy and imaginary. No, hope is the most real of emotions. Because through it we can recognize that there is potential for us, potential for better, potential for change, potential for possibility. So wherever you can find that abundance of emotional satisfaction, use it regularly. Make it your source of contentment. If it's a smash room, if it's a jailbreak room, maybe it's laser tag. Maybe it's music, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's belly dancing, maybe it's yoga. But whatever it is that provides you that sense of abundance of emotions, that's your place to get yourself recharged. Ow. Lunar, I know, smash rooms are so much fun. One of my favorites. If I can't smash a room, then I'll smash pallets instead. But you know, I'd much rather hit a porcelain toilet or something. So Lunar, jumping on the grenade for everybody else and letting me read her. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If any of you travelers coming through want to get a free card today, there is an open spot on the docket right after this. So all you got to do is give me consent, give me permission, and I'll be very happy to draw you a card. First up though, we're going to go with Lunar and see what we got going on for you. Especially given how things keep moving and changing today, eh? Oh, good old Two of Cups. So, my original take on this one is always conversations with peoples of different backgrounds and different orders. I know a lot of people like to really focus in on that love dynamic with it. Oh, it's two people and they're going to get together. They're going to find amazing things about each other. And yeah, maybe that is a part of it. Because ultimately, when we connect with others, we do feel things from it. But it doesn't have to be just about love. It can be about learning. It can be about understanding. It can be about creating new comprehensions. Now, there's at least 4 or 5 different ways that I can see this one rolling out for you. First off, there's between you and the daughter, figuring out a new approach towards life so that what needs to be changed can be changed gently, without feeling like it's a force or a demand upon a person. There's also you and some of the old friends that you're connecting with over the day, and just some little growths that may come out of that that give you something of consistency, something a little bit more reliable, something a little bit more encouraging. There's also you and all the medical staff and the medical people, learning new approaches, learning new insights, and all the new tools that are then going to go help with the daughter. So the key element here, connecting, embracing, sharing, learning, and allowing yourself to see the right people come to join your space to encourage and improve the situations at hand. You're going to get a huge amount of support coming your way through these other people. And that's going to make for a vast difference of effect for yourself. I would go so far as to say you're not going to feel alone again anymore. It's probably going to move into such a way that you start to feel like you've got that community, that collection of warriors, helpers, individuals moving around you to help you improve, enhance, and better all qualities and all straits. So I strongly feel like you're moving in the right direction, a right path, the right course. This is beautiful energy for you to kind of expand with it. Yep, I believe that. Because let's be honest, you're a charmer. You make good connections almost everywhere that you go. And so this is just an opportunity for you to expand that, grow that, enhance that with these new people as well. And they're not saying that they're going to have to be daily friends, but they will be strong connections and acquaintanceships that are going to help you move through all the process and all the flow. So there's a huge shift in how you're able to embrace and work with others. And yes, being that bridge of connectivity. I'm just going to send a quick response. I had my day job person reach out asking if I could work tomorrow. If you need me, I'll be there. Boom. Sorry. Yes, you are functioning as a bridge and creating new connections and new possibilities. And the thing is, you never just bring people to you. You bring people through you onto where they need to go. And so it's going to be an ability to really expand and move a lot of things around your energy form and create a whole new expansiveness through your new understandings. So it's very powerful what you're going to be infused with in this next moment, and your opportunity to change not just your own life, but many, many lives all around you. So, one more quick message. Okay, this is a little bit funny. When I got hired on this job, it was hired part-time to help them out here and there because somebody had fallen down and broken their tailbone, and another person had ended up popping a hole in their lung. And so I came on to help them cover that. I'm being asked possibly to work tomorrow because somebody got into an accident. So that would be a third employee of theirs that has been injured in the last 3 months, sorry. Anyway, I digress. Small distractions. Bad chimes. But if it means that it's hours for me, so, yeah, take the good with the bad. You're going to do amazing things with new connections. You're going to expand the world into whole new circles. It's going to be good, Lunar. And especially with how much devotion you're doing to the process that's at hand, like people see that passion, people see that love, and they know that you're sharing a part of you that others just absolutely more energy and more form, right? It's what lack of purpose. Okay, card help. Thank you. I think some people feel like they have to see purpose play out in such a way that it creates an obvious impact or profound impact. Yeah, and Kara's already kind of leaning in the direction that I'm going to. I think you have far greater impact than you realize. And starting to put yourself in that area where you are an ambience that slowly moves people in a direction and in a way. Yes, you're connecting people and you're like, okay, well, I get to facilitate, but is that really, really all that? Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, Bob's on us. Bob is on this 100%. I don't disagree. Because in your facilitating of things, it is you that connects and rebuilds the systems. How can a nation come together with not a single road between them? Without a bridge between two cities, it will forever be two cities at war. Without a means of relating to one another, we will never understand the bigger world. You offer a means through which people can have that understanding and that flow. You connect people in ways that they cannot connect themselves. That's superhuman. That's divine power. That is a capacity to shift and transform lives. Use that. Use that to make everything around you better. Because while without you, I guarantee you, without you, my life would suck. And I can guarantee you that there's other people that would have that same take on you. You move the world wherever you go. Keep doing so. And you don't have to overlook your own purpose, your own potential when it's laid right there in front of you. Hang on a second, there is a doorbell. Looks okay. Somebody's getting it. So we're okay. Yeah, tell me to hush. What the hell? I didn't do nothing. That was you guys. Okay. I just didn't want to miss that conversation. I am so sorry about that, folks. Long story short, we live in a rental unit. They were supposed to come mow like last week or two, but they haven't shown up. And so one of my neighbors went and did it. And I was just kind of following up on them because I'm the one that's supposed to borrow the lawnmower and do our backyards. And so I was like, wait, something's going on. So we were just catching up, figuring out what all the spiel was. But small things. Means on Monday, though, I get to go out with my push mower from next door, and that'll have some fun. It'll be enjoyable. It'll be good. Anyway, we're back. Did I miss any card requests by chance? I see you two were chatting away. Chat. Love it. Honestly, there's a goddamn quill right there. So let's be frank, Lunar. Write. Go into writing. See that? See that quill? See that quill? Stub. Hi, Stub. Looking, asking about a pet. There it is. Hi there. Are you able to tell me? Oh, of course I can. I'm so sorry, Stub. I have one flat thought when it comes to the loss of a familiar, a companion. When they're gone, it's such a sudden shift for us as their parents and as the ones that had shared all that time and space with them, right? And so when they go, sometimes it feels jarring, the change in the shift. But I know for fact any familiar loved will make it across the Rainbow Bridge. But that doesn't mean that they have to stay there. That doesn't mean that they're going to stay there either. They will quite often come to visit you. And for me, I've had a lot of cats. And so what happens is I end up feeling like there's a cat running around on my bed, crawling next to me or something to that effect. And there isn't. It's gone. It's nowhere near. But I know that cat. I know that paw print. That's my baby Crinth. She's precious. She's been gone for me now almost 15 years. But she still comes to visit to remind me that that connection that we had was real and important. My eldest familiar right now, she's 14. She at some point is also going to be going to that other side. And I know, I have absolute faith that I too will feel her when she comes to visit. Because that is the impression of the connection. To be with each other forever. Even if physically we're apart, mentally, memory, we are together. Emotionally, we are together. And spiritually, we are together. So, yes, crossed the Rainbow Bridge and joined in the Great Ether, but that does not mean that they have left you. It just means that they've expanded their perception so that they don't just have to stand next to you, protect you anymore. They are everywhere protecting you as part of the very nature of the world. You thought you saw him, you saw the shadow, you saw the movement. That is them. That is them. There's always at least one cat hanging around. And 9 times out of 10, it's one of my physical cats, but every so now and again, it's not. It is the impression and the feeling of one of my special ones that have passed on. And it's so nice when they come to visit. The first few times it's hard because the grief can sometimes make it difficult to feel the blessing of it, but it will show up. Oh, I'm so sorry. FIP. Feline. I'll have to look it up to see exactly what it is, but... Oh, you tried your best. You tried your best. And you know what? That you tried is an honor. It's a dignity. It's a respect to the life that you shared with. It is evidence of how much they mattered to you, and it is why you matter so much to them now too. Not many people would go to that length. Hardly any, if I'm being honest here. Because to them, well, it's just a life. But to us, that's our children. Okay. Infectious peritonitis. Okay. I'm so sorry. I am terribly sorry that they were taken. But Sergi is not gone. They are always and forever in and around with you. And for them, the moment of departure wasn't panic, wasn't pain. It was, I'm hurting, and my loved ones are here trying to help me through the pain. And now the pain is gone, and I'm going to do what I can to help them with their pain. And that's why they're around. That's why they stay close. That's why they stay near. Because they want to help you Feel through the grief. Eight of Wands is all about quick messages, quick blips, quick information. I guarantee you, they are around and with you and communicating to you at all times. They're with you, Stu. I promise. Miss them, but don't ever forget. They are alive in you, in your memory, in your energy, and in your flow. And while you can't hug them in your arms, you can still hug them in your heart. You can still love and show all that love in everything that you do. Okay? Sleep well, the peaceful dead. May they find their comfort within the rest. But I do not feel this one is far from you. Stubby's with you. Sergi's with you. You've got this. Protective cat. Very protective cat. Anything, anytime. We're always happy to be of service. Hi, Faith. Asking about sincere, I'll definitely draw that up in just a second here. Thanks for the question. Stub, if you have anything that you can do that makes you feel them as a meditation or as a practice, it's not a bad thing to do. Music sometimes helps. Painting and drawing. I do a lot of little sketches, and they're not great, but they do help me feel that connection. And sometimes that's the best way to go. Faith, asking about sincere. Do they miss you? Now, there's a trick to this. You're asking about somebody else and what their feelings are towards you, and that's a little bit more difficult. That's not necessarily something I've got permission from them. Rather, it's you kind of looking and spying on them, right? And so that's not really an easy question per se. What was your connection with this sincere person? What was the dynamic? What was the flow? Was this like a fling thing? Was this a relationship that fell apart? What's the flow, and what is your actual hope for the moment? Oh, I love that. Definitely keep the bets. I like that a lot. I didn't get to keep anything from Crinth, unfortunately, but with Ghost, I'll have all her things. Still in there, Faith? Just curious, with you and Sincere, what is the energy between you two? Is it friendships? Is it romantic? Is it commitment? Because when like Aeon card's coming up, my big picture view on this is that there's a reason for the parting, there's a reason for the distance, and you're not supposed to go back. Rather, the period of time and the evolution of time together may have finally run its course, and now we need to kind of look and see for what the moment actually is. The ending of something, so something new can take its place. Understanding that something doesn't work because of very obvious things. And rather than trying to force it back together, we should just let it go. We should just leave it. So my worry is that this flow between you and this individual, I'm not sure it's necessarily a healthy flow. And if that's the case, I don't want to encourage any growth of that connection again. If you guys are parted because you guys don't have that flow with each other, it's best that you stay departed from one another. Don't go looking back to an old place for familiar things. Move forward. Let the fire destroy the ground, and let the rain come and wash it through, and let it all be reset so that new things can happen for both of you, and the attachments to the past don't prevent you from that advancement. Gotta let yourself move on, not backwards. I have a weird feeling though that Faith is not still in the room though. So that's a shame. As a point of order, if you ever put in a card request, I will honor it 100% of the time. I'm kind of pushy for that, because if you ask for something, it should always be given. So if you do put in a card request, I will always honor it as best as I can. And if you can't stick around for the card, you can always catch the replay on YouTube. I always do put replays up on YouTube after the fact to make sure that there's that chance for people to catch it later. Any requests, feel free to throw them in there. Single card is absolutely free. You just got to put in and let me have consent to read you. And other than that, I'll just drop another energy card. As I don't have any mementos from my first cat, I know that I need to do something with my current ones. And so I've got a ink pad and fancy paper. It's going to start doing their paw prints pretty soon here and just have a record of them through that. The collars, always a nice touch too. I never really used a lot of collars with my cats, so I don't have as many of those. But I do have name tags, at least one for Ghost. Might even still have one of Shadow's floating around, but Shadow's not my cat anymore. General energy. Let's see what we got here. This baby dragon is the only thing that has ever beaten me in a staring contest. See, that's tricky because a lot of the black stones and black crystals, they relate towards like banishment, cleansing. No, I know one. Apache's Tear. It looks black until you hold it up to a light. Then it becomes translucent, almost a translucent gray. And it was traditionally considered an excellent stone to carry if you wanted to release grief, release tears, release the feelings, right? So it would be sort of a double hitter. One, it matches your spooky boy and kind of has that shadowy, dark vibe, but there's so much light in it when you get to know it. And two, it is that help to release grief, so it can help to transform the energy from the sensation of loss into the sensation of connection again. So I'll write it down just in the chat box really quick here. But Apache's Tear. Oh no, how do I write Apache? No, I feel like it's an S. No, I don't. I'm going back with the CH. Apache's Tear. Obsidian. As I make this whole poor thing shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. There we go. Yeah, I had a harness for her, for Ghost, and for the other cats for when he put them on the leash in the backyard, but even taking them out for walks is only a very recent thing for me. I have a hard time trusting that I'm not going to lose my cats. But, you know, it is what it is. Hey, it's what I do. Here anytime and every time. And especially on topics such as this. Super happy to be here to support and help through it. Ferry driving is not an easy job. Most people sort of have a tough time considering life after death and transformation of the flow. But that's one of my specialities. They don't have an official course here yet in Alberta for death doulas, but I've been designing my own system and my own format of it. So if you need anything more in conversation on this, it's always feel free to reach out. It's something I can definitely help with. Where are we at here? Where are we at? I'm gonna check a quick thing up here. Nope, nothing yet. That's okay. So let's hop on. Next general energy card. If you are just joining us and you want to get a card request in, feel free to throw down consent for me to read you. I just need your consent so I know I can draw your card. And till then, let's go with the next general energy. And the next one's going to be Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups to me is one of the most important silver lining cards. Sometimes loss happens, defeat happens, pain happens. And if we focus in on the pains, if we focus in on the suffering, it becomes an all-consuming black hole, something that we just feel cannot be escaped. It supersedes our better judgment and our better feelings, and we become crushed within ourselves. When we can instead look around and see what we still have, though, sometimes that silver lining can be enough to give us hope and process of moving forward. The imagery on this card, though, I feel doesn't necessarily hit that well enough. What we get is 4 cups doing what they can to try and fill up the 5th cup down in the middle. And the silver lining is that, well, there is still enough in these cups to add to this other cup. There still is potential there, opportunity. Now in the Rider-Waite, this is what the 5 of cups looks like instead. 3 cups that are spilled over to represent the loss, while 2 cups are still upright behind the individual. Where is the perspective of the man, though? It's on the loss, not on what is still available. That is the mistake of, that is the, I shouldn't say mistake. Mistake's kind of a mean word for this. That is the shortcoming that happens with pain, grief, and suffering. We focus very much on the loss and the departure, and we don't stop to see that there's still things around us that need our attention and need our care. Just the obvious method of loss. Somebody is no longer with us, and there's others in the family that still need our attention, but we miss the person that's gone too much. Or for an individual that's been in an accident, the vehicle may be destroyed, but they're alive. Okay, my 93 Camaro is gone, but I still have life. And sometimes we need to really focus in on what we still have to encourage positivity, to encourage hope, and to continue getting back up. Life naturally always pushes through, and it's really easy for the instinctual. Plants just have to push through dirt. Animals just have to push through hunger or struggle. Humans get it really, really tough. We have to push through emotions. We have to push through our own will. We have to push through our own thoughts. And then we have to push with our body to actually get anywhere. And that can be an intense amount of work for any individual that's just trying to get a little bit further ahead. So how then do we as individuals get that inspiration? By doing whatever we can to look at what is still there and engaging it, bringing it back to the forefront as the positive flow that's going to help empower us and give us what we need to really, really settle into success, victory, and the forward moving motion that's going to completely free us from pain. Don't focus on the loss. Try to focus on what you do still have. Fill whatever cup is still standing with whatever is remaining. It may not be a lot, but it could be enough. And allowing it to be enough, it's a little bit of a trick. But once you have it, you'll never lose it. Positive thinking is a mental discipline. It's thought control for yourself. Being able to recognize where your thoughts are going and the roads that they're traveling, and then changing that road so that you're not at the mercy of those thoughts. Specifically, though, water is supposed to be about emotions. It's very closely tied to the mind, though. You're dwelling and thinking about something. It generates an emotion. You now want to think more about that emotion, and that's the trap. When you notice that the thought is going in that direction, distract it, delay it, divert it. Don't just let your thoughts walk you into the negative, but rather acknowledge that you are in control of the process and direct it any other way that you can. There's some simple tools within that 5 senses elements, 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, 1 thing that you can taste. I'm having a thought. I don't like that thought. I'm going to ignore it now. I'm going to think about coffee or something else that I really, really like. I really like coffee, so it ends up being about coffee a lot of the time. Something that moves us away from doubt and into positivity. That is the trick of thought control and mental discipline. To recognize, first off, where your mind and feelings are moving towards, and then having tools and methods that you can distract it, move it, rework it. You don't have to succumb to disappointment if you can manage to get on top of those thought flows and move everything in another direction. Meditation is supposed to help guide us to developing that practice and developing that control. But not everybody meditates through sitting quietly and going, Om. Some of us have to meditate through physical action. Some of us have to meditate through music, language. Some of us have to meditate through expression, dancing, singing. And some of us simply meditate by just simply being ourselves. And so once you know what is your best way to engage into meditation and format, use it. Definitely use it. I usually describe people into 4 categories: warriors, priests, poets, scholars. When you know what your category or your class is, you can then apply yourself based upon that energy and that form. You just got to be willing to put yourself into the learning state to develop who you are and use who you are to your advantage. So it is an open table right now. If anybody wants to put in a card request, you're more than welcome to fire one into the chat there. Probably going to go for another, let's say, at least 20 minutes, maybe 30. Where would there be any card requests from the audience at this time? If not, I'm just going to draw another random energy while continuing to double check what's going on in all these various message boxes. Chaos everywhere today. Another general request, unless I get a specific card request in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go general energy with it then. But if anybody wants to throw in a card request, you're welcome to do so. Oh, it's my favorite card. A lot of people look at me funny when I say that, but it all depends on how you look at this card, right? Death card is not about death 6 feet under. It really isn't. It's about metamorphosis and transformation. Who you were yesterday is not who you are today. Your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, they've all changed. Your knowledge has expanded from a whole day of living. Heck, something may have occurred between yesterday and today that completely changes your destination and your course. But it is still a new you today that is going to continually evolve and grow each day that comes up afterwards. So the Bittersweet Symphony by Verve, there's a line in there, I'm a million different people from one day to the next. Yes, you are. And when you can embrace the fact that you're changing constantly from day to day, it gets easier to release who you were yesterday and not be stagnant, not be trapped in the old thoughts of yourself. Occasionally I see things going on in the world where people just aren't quite sure what's going on anymore. Let's say in the 1990s, it was the otherkin phase. People exploring their identity by associating with mythical creatures or energy forms. Now we're going through a complete new revival of gender identity and what it actually means to us as individuals. Now, to me, the whole answer is very, very easy. We each are a combination of both masculine and feminine energy, and so best that we just learn how to exhibit both energies at the same time. But somebody that has been very, very consistent with what you see is what you get isn't going to embrace that idea. They don't see masculine in a feminine form, nor feminine in a masculine form, because the ideas are conceptual. People prefer, quite often, tangible things that they can put their hands onto and hold forever. But even those things don't stay the same forever. You have to eventually let go of old thoughts, old beliefs, old items, and move forward into a new state of being. This is the death that it is talking about. Not the demise of the individual, but the transformation of the individual. If there's no evolution, there is no resolution. I like that. I like that a lot. A different way to look at that same thought. If life is not adapting, then life is dying. If you're not going through adaptation and evolution, then you're not going to fix anything, you're not going to change anything, and you are going to fade out. And most people, they don't want to believe that. They want to believe that they are going to be the same forever. Frankly, things aren't even the same from day to day in the modern era. If you look at it from the decades, we've barely shifted from where we were in the 90s, and we're suffering for it. We're not allowing ourselves to change and advance into new abstract conceptualities. We're just doubling down on the idea that the rock has to be solid no matter what. And it's not. The foundations of life are actually quite shaky. They're dependent upon our ability to change. The only constant is change, evolution, transformation, and metamorphosis. And so we each must allow that transformation to happen through us. I don't care how old-fashioned you are, you can always learn to allow others their right to explore and accept the right to explore yourself without harassment or inhibition from others. I'm not sure that I've ever been very consistent, except for in my willingness to learn and grow and change. There's some things that are probably the same from when I was a child to when I'm an adult, but for the most part, I am a constant flow of adaptation. How can I do this better? How can I be more above where I was yesterday? And there's bad days with that. I know there's bad days with it. Depression sucks. I won't argue that. But that doesn't mean that I surrender to it. It means I look for another way, past it, around it, or through it. And as long as you can keep it in your mind that you're constantly trying to change forward, then you're embracing the death card to its fullest energy, and that capacity for change makes you superior to all else that is choosing not to change. Stagnation is death. Even true conservatism isn't about keeping things the same. It's about just making sure that the changes are gradual. But we've gotten away from that. We've gotten into our heads that conservatism is supposed to be about going back to the good old days. And if you guys want the good old days, then go move in with the Amish. There's lots of them in North America, lots of places that you can go and enjoy the basic, simple life. That's not what you're actually looking for. What you're looking for is to not have change run past you. And that's fair. That's totally fair. I totally understand that people don't want to feel like the world is growing faster than they are. But if it is, it's not the world's problem. It's a personal problem. If you choose never to spin a cocoon and evolve from butterfly to caterpillar, from caterpillar to butterfly, then you don't get to sit on that tree and curse and complain about the butterflies that are leaving you. If you wanted to join them, you could have changed too. But if you chose not to, that's your choice. Just like it's their choice to sprout wings and ditch you where you are. Change, transformation, evolution forward always has to be the mainstay. I was reading a book I wrote when I was 16. I started it when I was 16. I finished it when I was 19. I had, on average, 4 slurs against homosexuality on each of the first 2 chapters, each page of the first 2 chapters. And when I went back and read it, and it's FAG this, GAY that, I was like, what the hell was wrong with me back in my teenage years? Oh, right, that was the lexicon back in the 90s. It wasn't even supposed to be about attacking them. It was entirely just those were the words that we used to express disgust or anger or frustration. How can you use somebody's identity to express frustration, though, and not be toxic with that? And so I'm having to go through this old book that I wrote when I was 16 and having to edit out every single one of these slurs. Because I realize now, 20 years later, that wasn't a good way to write. That wasn't good kosher Nickisms. That was me just being a little shit. Now, I know a lot of people that would have written that, grown up, looked at it and said, oh yeah, I hate those people. And they're comfortable with that. They doubled down on that venom. They doubled down on that destruction. How does that serve anybody besides themselves? Validating their own anger and venom doesn't allow them to grow. It allows them to rot and fester and basically just die in suffering. So don't hold on to your old behaviors. Who you were 20 years ago had better not be who you are today. If it is, you might want to go talk to a therapist. You should be changing daily as you learn more, advance more, and grow more. Embrace death as a nightly ritual so that you may shed all the pieces of you that are useless, outdated, outmoded, and of no benefit to the greater collective. Embrace transformation and allow that death to impact you every single day. Without that embrace of the transformation, you will never change, and you will never come to a world that works for you, because the world is change. Times change all things. Nothing lasts forever. The only constant is change. Embrace the death. Find the new way for you. Philosophically, it's one of my favorite topics to get into. In case you couldn't tell. Because let's be frank here. Nobody's super happy about change or comfortable with change most of the time. We all just sort of go through it begrudgingly. Celebrate change as you celebrate each and every day. Celebrate change as you celebrate each and every success that you have, and every day will be victory. Every day will be success. Every day will be an accomplishment. Because no matter what, you at least sacrificed whatever didn't work for you in yesterday. And now today, you don't have that burden over top of you. You don't have that trap caging you because you released it, you abandoned it, you changed. Victory comes through finding a consistent path of evolution and format for yourself so that you can grow into yourself. You have a rough idea of who you want to be. Most of us do, at least. And sometimes it's from day-to-day living, telling us what we like. Sometimes it's more deeper than that. We feel an element of ourself that is supernatural or mystical. Wherever that sense of purpose is coming to you from, though, once you allow yourself to live in it and move towards it constantly, every day is winning. Because you're always moving towards your best version of yourself, your most victorious version of yourself. No person has all the answers, but by learning from their experiences and absorbing that knowledge and absorbing that information and making it wisdom that they can use, every person can become greater, fuller, with more potential by following that process of self. Not to combine two cards together, but embrace the change and transformation of death, and you will have victory every day for the rest of your life. Because you're allowing yourself to evolve, adapt, and move forward and through the obstacle. This is the secret weapon. As long as you can learn to be adaptable, you can survive anything. So, we'll do a last call. If there is any requests for cards before we call it a day here, I'll take all those requests now. You just gotta, throw me consent. I need consent before I can read a person's card. That's kind of the big thing here. And so if you do indeed want to get a card, then please, oh please, just let me know. let me know down in the comments there, and we'll get you a card drawn right away. Otherwise, if I don't see... Oh, hi, Joanne. You want a second one? Okay. Let's throw you a second one. No, I am not drawing myself one. Joanne, coming up with the Ten of Stones. Ten of Stones is, Ten of Pentacles is specifically about society, community, kind of getting that sense of the bigger picture of who we are all connected to. And sometimes it's about getting out and being involved in a way that we find we contribute in, we take back from them, and the synchronicity creates a strong bond, an evolution, and an ability to advance our goals and needs. I can't remember specifically what was on your first card, but I do notice that you're making new connections, you're making new flows. Over time, you'll develop a spirit of discernment that allows you to look upon a person that's in front of you and decide whether that person has something that is truly of benefit to you or not. And that way you can start to recognize what parts of society are good for you, which parts of society are not so good for you. You start to get a sense of what is your realm of influence, what is your realm of connection. Some people like to keep their circles very small, very tight, very contained. Others like to be able to meander from city to city and make friends wherever they go. But it's to each individual to decide what it is specifically that they are seeking from community, whether it be financial stability or companionship or affirmation of belonging. As you go through and you realize what's providing this in healthy ways and what's providing this in toxic ways, make mental notes about the patterns and the differences between both parties. This way, eventually it won't be you go and sit down for a meal with a person to figure out what they're all about, but from the very handshake or the look in their eyes or the way that they conduct themselves around you, you now know exactly what their intentions and desires are for you. You can start pulling away from those where the intention isn't really about a shared dynamic, and you can start building block by block the things that are going to make you feel positive, encouraged, growing, and moving along the right path. Some people will have to be abandoned, completely abandoned, in order to allow this to happen. Some places you may never be able to go back to because they just don't fit with the new you. Some elements of your community will shift. Allow the shift to happen so that you can find new beginnings, new starts, and new areas that will replace what has come out of you. As some things leave, new things will come to take their place, and that transformation and that evolution forward will become a constant in your life. Rather than having to chase after a car that's driving away, the next will come straight to you, almost like it was made, designed, and sent for you. Allow yourself to shed the old and embrace the new, and take a completely different community from it for yourself to learn, to grow, and to evolve. Good path and good energy flow that comes through with that one. It'll do you good. Welcome back, Kara. Just going through the last call for cards, so if there is anyone that's floating through there that wants to get a card before I take off for the Thursday, now is definitely the time. If you have not followed me before on Facebook or YouTube, please feel free to track me down there. The life goal is eventually to make it that you can type LOPIK into any search bar, and lo and behold, you'll find me in all my different forms. That's on Facebook, that's on YouTube, and of course you're hanging out with me here on TikTok, and super appreciate that as well. I'm also running a special meditation group with a hypnotherapist on Wednesdays. If it's something that you've never tried before, you should reach out, let me know. We might be able to get you set up to try that out once. And of course, I love teaching. So if you're not just looking for readings, but you're looking for development of skills or practices related towards spirituality, you can absolutely message me and we'll be more than happy to show you what we have for offerings. Some of that's rooted in divination training, learning how to read cards, learning how to read energy, symbols, or other things like that. Some of it's more just helping you to develop your own personal expression of spirituality. There's so many different languages that you can learn to speak spirituality in. I'd rather help you to design your own language. Take the things that work for you, avoid the things that confuse you, and develop you in a way that you connect with you. I don't need you following some weird god or some horned demon. I just need you finding yourself and trusting yourself as the direction and path for your own infusement. Yeah, we can definitely sort something out with that. I'm Kara. If Lunar has your details, we can definitely make some things pan out here. And yeah, that's an easy one to do. That's an easy one to do. Because honestly, like first time, always got to try it out once. And I'm really, really happy that my business associate there is letting us do first time free so that people can get a taste of it. And then if it does end up being something that people want to sink into, then there's a weekly drop-in rate or there's a monthly rate. But definitely check it out. We're here for the community, and specifically the community understanding itself. There is no God out there that's going to tell you all the answers. Rather, those answers come from within. So together, let's help you to discover your language of spirituality. If Kara doesn't, I'll remind you. One way or another, we'll make sure this happens. I appreciate each and every one of you and all the support that you guys show me time and time again. It is wonderful to be a part of your experience and a part of your walk. Know that wherever you go and wherever you are blessed. You are loved. You are cherished by a source divine that sees you as the fulfillment of all of its goals and all of its dreams. You are a symbol of hope, possibility, and transformation. And through your life, you will teach the universe just how amazing life is. Go forth and bring to the world all that you are and all that you can. And together, we're going to make the best world for all of us. Wherever you go, wherever you are, be safe, be well, have a blessed night, and goodbye for now.